So it's that time, everyone's quarantined, all the fitness social media influencers are posting in-home workouts. I wouldn't say that I'm joining the bandwagon because I've basically been posting stuff that you can do at home for many years now. But here is a quick sequence flow for shoulder mobility that you can do with a stick. You probably have a stick at home. Even when I was in a super minimalist lifestyle, I still had a broom, and that's honestly what this is. This is literally just a broomstick. So we're just gonna go into a few shoulder exercises and, take it or leave it. I'm just offering suggestions, stuff that you can do. Some of the stuff is more commonplace. Some of the stuff you may have not seen before. Some of the stuff is just a new perspective. So really good, takes a few minutes. Nice for the shoulders. So first thing we're going to do is just grab shoulder width and keeping the arm lifting up and down. Getting overhead range of motion, so I'm not being too strict right now, but if we want it to be more strict, you would say to not move from the rib cage, to just move the shoulders up and down. And what I can do to make it more interesting is I can squeeze the arms together as I do these, so I'm getting a little bit of different activation. It's going to travel through the pecs and then up into the traps as I lift up. And if I want to add some shrugs at the top, I can do that. And of course, you're welcome to follow along. And I can do the same movement, but this time instead of pushing together, I'm going to pull apart. So we get a bit of lat activation. Same movement, just different muscle usage. So it feels different. It's going to hit different parts of the shoulder. It's going to work different qualities, and then we're going to hold, and then I'll do these contractions opposite. So at the top, I'm going to push together, relax, pull apart, relax, push together, relax, pull apart, relax. A few times I can move a little bit faster if I want to, and then what I'm going to do is just pulse. Right? So again, I'm pulsing from the shoulders. I'm trying not to do movement from the rib cage, just pulsing backwards a little bit. Shoulders relaxed. Then I can pulse with a light pull apart. I can pulse with a little bit of push together. Relax, keep pulsing. Shake it out, put the stick down. So we're going to go a little bit wider. And not all the way back. We're not doing dislocates yet. We're just working. So in this case, I'm maintaining the pull apart, and I'm going only as far as I can without the shoulders rolling forward. So we're not there yet. We're just pulling apart. And of course, grab as wide as you need to. You don't have to completely follow me. Make it your own. So in this case, with the width, notice I can go a little bit farther while still maintaining position without the shoulders rolling forward. And the next thing what I'll do is bar on the back as if I was about to do a back squat. Grab as wide as you need to, and we're going to push back. Pushing back, opening the chest. I don't know, I'm not really counting how many of these I'm doing. I'm just kind of flowing as I go. So if you find one particular exercise that hits you better than others, feel free to keep doing it. When I'm doing this particular exercise, I'm trying to take the stick away from me horizontal, so not up, making sure it goes out. And then second variation here, show you a little bit of a different angle. I'm going to draw circles. Yeah, so circles. So from that back squat position, circle, straight arms. Ooh, this one's good. I haven't done this one in a long time. Circle, and now we're going to do those dislocates. So the goal here, and it's not a big deal, but again, we're focusing on the shoulders, so we're trying not to move the rib cage as much as possible. If you do a little bit, it's okay. As wide as you need to. So no judgment on width. When you get to the maximum shoulder flexion, the shoulders roll forward, and then you keep the stick going. In this case, I would say try to make the movement as smooth as possible. So what I can do is maybe I'll do 3 or 4, and if the shoulders are feeling a little bit more loose, then what I can do is scooch the fingers in a little bit further, and then I can continue a few rounds of that. until I feel I've reached a good width. I'll show you from the side. Smooth movement. You don't have to go as fast as me. If you're new to the movement, I actually recommend that you go slower than me and not faster. Get that going. I'm going to go one more round, so maybe another inch inwards with the fingers. A few more of these guys. And do 2 more. One more. Shoulders are feeling warm now. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to go into shoulder extensions. So you're going to grab palm facing forward, bar behind the butt, and lifting. And the idea with the lift is that it comes only from the shoulders. So I'm not leaning forward to do so. I'm just lifting up. As narrow as you can, but don't force it. So just comfortable. So for me, a little bit outside of shoulder width. Feels good. Gonna hit the triceps, gonna hit the rear delts. You can hang out here and do like pretend you're an airplane. Move around a bit, holding. This is an interesting one as well. So I do this lift and then trying to keep the stick as high as possible, but not leaning forward in my upper body. I bend and I come in, show you from a different angle. Like that, show you from another angle, lift. Pull, keep the stick as high as possible. Feels pretty interesting on the shoulder. Then we're going to transfer the stick back into that dislocate position. So quite a bit wider than the shoulders. And we're going to draw circles now. So we're going to do kind of this little movement. If you have to bend your arms a little bit at some point, I wouldn't be too worried. We're not trying to be too strict. We're just trying to get the shoulders moving. So it's one arm, second arm. I'll show you that movement from a couple different vantage points. And basically I'm just alternating the side every time I do one. So I go right arm starts, then left arm, and then I reverse. I go left arm, and then right arm. Yeah, it's a really nice movement. I like this one a lot. That's why I'm doing more than a few of these. More than probably I need to explain it, just because I do like the way it feels. Next one, we're gonna go into kind of wizard staff. So putting the stick down and then just leaning into it. So do a bit of shoulder opening. I can arch the back if I want to, or I can keep the back a little bit more round, and that's going to focus on the shoulders. And then what I'm going to do is alternate which arm is on top. So I can hang with my weight, I can apply weight and do kind of strength movements like this. Just pulsing a little bit. I can do, this is more advanced, I can do a little bit of ballistic pulses like that. I can turn, so here I can get a lat stretch if I go palm. So palm up to the ceiling on that top arm and push away with the bottom arm, almost like I'm gonna do a flag, but not quite. So that's gonna be a nice lat stretch that you can do. And then of course, once I hit the lat, I can roll a little bit. If I roll the hips inward, I can get into that QL junction in the lower back. I know I get tight there a lot. And then we can get into more triceps. So if I do straight arm, pulling in and back, I can get into that teres tricep connection in here. So that's another really nice movement that we can do. And at this point, I'm just exploring, right? I didn't even, when I started filming this video, I did not have any kind of plan. So now what I'm doing is going out, and now we get a good chest and bicep stretch. So rolling the stick, applying enough weight into it that I feel it. So not enough weight to make it a super heavy exercise, but enough weight that I can feel what's happening. So I go bend the arm, straighten the arm, and then do these arm rotations. So we're getting into some chest and bicep stretch here. Really good movement. And then this is the last one, and this one's kind of my favorite. It's once you understand the setup, you'll have it, but it's a bit confusing at first. So grab the stick underneath like it's a sword. This is really good for shoulder external rotation. So you're gonna grab the stick underneath, you're gonna flip it behind you, and then the stick, I'll show you up close, should connect behind the elbow like this. And then that hand, I'm not really grabbing it, but I have the fingers in front just so that I know that it's there. And what I can do is, whoop, I almost lost it. What I can do is when I pull the stick in the bottom, see how I have a leverage and I'm levering my arm into an external rotation. And then what I'm gonna do is just roll the arm around while maintaining that external rotation. So different movement, different exploration. I saved this one for last because this one's my favorite and it feels absolutely fantastic. So just rolling around, finding different positions. If I find a spot that I like, I can stay there. I don't have to keep moving. It's just that when I'm doing these kind of mobility flows, I generally don't have a set plan. It's a lot of exploration, and then I kind of do what I need to for that day, and it might look a little bit different from day to day. So second arm, so I'm going to explain that again. So grab at the bottom, flip it back, get a grip, find the grip with the top arm, and then once it's locked in, leverage, moving around, exploring different possibilities. So yeah, this whole sequence, I don't know how long it's taken. Let's look at that timer. Yeah, not even 5 minutes, and I'm explaining it, right? So you could take 5 minutes, especially since you're probably at home anyway right now. You could take 5 minutes. You probably have a broomstick. Like I would bet that most of people listening are gonna have a broomstick. So yeah, you can take a few minutes. Feel free to follow along, but I prefer that you not just follow, but use the concepts and take time to explore and see. You don't need a lot of equipment. Easy shoulder mobility routine that you can do. I hope this was useful. If you did find it useful, feel free to like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever, all of that stuff. I'm not sure what's happening right now with upcoming workshops, but I have updated my online coaching capabilities, so you can check that out in the link below. And otherwise, as always, let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel. I'm trying to be a bit more active on YouTube, so just let me know what you want to see and I'll do my best to get it out there.